for him, and I just listened to her. I didn't make it. She had to sit down and we talked. Yeah, I get it.
And she said, the last time, one of the dealers spoke, there's one, she mentioned two dealers. She sounded like one that spoke last time is going to be something to think about. So we might have to come and clean up.
We may have to. I don't know, I just didn't get a good job. She kept telling me, she says, well, you don't know much about it. And I didn't say it. I just let it.
You know, I didn't know it's came back. And I said it.
Yeah, I'm recognized.
So, you know, it's just too different.
Oh, yeah. His daddy would have known. Yeah, you're right about that.
And I would have known anyway.
Well, I had four verses that I studied in the library, you see, like myself, Margaret,
Yeah.
and then Margaret's Bible, and then David's Stock, and then Nancy's Kendall, Debbie's Stock, and then the first one. So I had, yeah, I got them, so. I stayed up there a while. I remember going home. Good, Jim.
Y'all good workshop at Thursday,
So I told them what they did. I said, hey,
This Thursday, 5.
Yeah.
I said, they're drawing a Christmas tree.
Cornerstone. We got is asphalt and AMRs.
And I just thought that was so nice. No, it's cat.
Hey, Tim, come here, bitch.
She was my dance team when I was a little girl. And then she was the director of our Trojan Institute. And I still have some uniform up here. I still have it because they loved it. She said,
Did you see the thing?
yeah, I flipped all my lights on
That sound all right?
There's supposed to be somebody out there, man, right now,
I don't know about that. Yeah, on the, you saw it, I did one of them smile, you're on kids camera. Yeah, I got one of them, made it up strictly, you know, yeah. I'm not candy camera, I just sit and smile, you're on Hey, Packer. How you doing, man? Yeah, she can. Y'all asked me, what I was saying, Forest. Forest. Gonna be here. 5 o'clock. And we got to roll this paper. We got to go.
I'll be here.
You said 5 o'clock.
Good job, Joe. Joe, you watching? We got 10 more years of coaching. Sweet, though. He can still throw it. He can still throw it. That's when you come got me in politics, you got the office. We like you, and we're done, so it's safe. We got Will today. The RC work is good today. 14 more than that. They got one kid. You're blowing in. You just gotta wait back up there. You wait for my
How you do? We got no reason to tie it, no. right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 2nd CBG board meeting. This time we'll stand. Alderman Ward 1, Mark Grubb, as the prayer, and we'll follow the pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for guidance and wisdom as we begin this meeting. We pray for this board as we make decisions here tonight. They would be done to glorify your name. Help us engage in meaningful discussion and allow us to come together as a city. We thank you, God, for our employees, our first responders. Keep them safe in all they do. Pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Raise the flag, attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, y'all be all right. We need, first thing we need to do is approve the approve the agenda.
Make a motion.
All right, Mark, motion. Sue was second, all in favor? All right, a couple of work project committee reports I want to go over with. Well, the first thing is Bars with Duncan, Clearpoint Engineering wants to have a workshop Thursday, 5 o'clock, two reasons. The asphalt paving and the AMR. Y'all good with 5 o'clock? Workshop. Water meters and asphalt paving, John. That get it posted. Okay.
What time?
5. Is that gonna be all right, y'all? 5 o'clock? Okay. Okay, we got the proclamation cleanup, and we've got the signs today, and Tim's gonna put them up over at the city barn. The fence you're gonna see. There's 6 signs. I think one of them say old tires, one of them say electronic waste, one of them said old furniture, one of them old appliances, and it's trying to think of another 5. Anyway, you'll be able to come over there, and you'll write something, you put it there, and then every day Tim and them can check and see what's there, and we'll get it up. But if y'all can't wait for the gravel truck or anything, we'll have it over there for y'all. Those signs came in today. All right, next thing I want to go over on work project. Y'all said that y'all want to, y'all had some list of streets y'all want to clean up before the bicentennial. And what I did was, I got to watching Southern Pine using mulcher, and y'all seen their Southern Pine mulcher, so I called Caterpillar Puckett, that we get our heavy equipment from. And I said, we really don't need to buy one. Can we rent one? They said, no, we just sell them. But they said, I got someone that uses them. So anyway, I've got y'all 2 bids in y'all's packet. Y'all want to discuss it on the mulching, which is, and the mulcher said that 1 year will do you good. I mean, everybody be 1 year if y'all want to look at that. Because I know we run out of time. Tiffany, what's our time on Centennial? I know you're on that.
April 13th.
April 13th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's the 13th through the 27th.
Yeah. We're trying to clean up, they want to clean up the roads and everything. What do y'all think?
Well, they need to be mowed also.
Well, that's what he says, and once we mulch it, you'll be able to mow it. That's what he says.
So are we gonna mow it or we gonna get somebody to mow it?
Tim didn't do that.
What road you talking about? I've had the bush hog going for 2 weeks.
Yeah. They need to be mowed. You don't bush hog your yard, you mow your yard. It looks different from bush hogging to mowing.
What streets you talking about?
Highway
Here, Tim.
28 from Baldwin Road into Piggly Wiggly, 149 from the Shell Station to Piggly Wiggly.
You gonna be a brave soul, get more on them ditches, cause they steep. No, you ain't gonna get them more.
Now, most of it's gonna be weedy.
I've had them weed eaten. Have anybody looked at them last couple of days?
I have
Sign
it.
that says Hattiesburg, Jackson and Hattiesburg. That's on 28, just before you get to Barry Motors. You can't see it for the green, for the bushes that's there growed up in front of it.
Hole 49, Tim, looks good back my way. I saw it this morning, going out, looks good. Now, like Sammy said, get a finish mower, yeah, it would look better, but some
Yeah.
of those slopes, it's gonna be.
You're gonna have to, a lot of that's gotta be weedy.
It's gonna be weed eating, but.
Those mulch said that-
Go back on man pile.
They said the mulcher wouldn't have no problem climbing that hill.
Yeah, but the mulcher can't cut the grass. It can cut the bushes back it needs to be cut. Yeah, I agree with you on
Sammy,
that.
how much money's in the budget for that?
We don't.
You know, that's just something we want.
To get a finishing mower or put a bunch of weed eaters down there, how do you do that? Where does that come
It just
from?
come out of the general fund, what we'd have to do with that.
We didn't plan that. But this bid on the mulching, one of the bids was really cheap, and it wouldn't hurt us at all. Isn't one of them like $8,500?
You have that on.
It should be on there, too. Yeah. We can handle that.
I mean, I agree. I agree with one-time deal.
We can try, yeah. Timmy,
Right
but
on the low bid.
yeah, she's April 13th, right?
Yes, sir.
So it needs to be done, April. And this guy's ready to go. He's a phone call away, neither one of them. Y'all want to use it.
Get it all.
Right, and you always come back. Don't we run out of time, man, with the bicentennial? Y'all good with that?
Mulching is just up on the side of the road, not limbs, right?
There won't be nothing like it.
Whatever's there.
Yeah, it mows down everything. You know, you ain't no southern pine, whatever's there, it gets mowed, and it turns into
They
fertilizer.
just gonna mulch.
Yeah.
You gonna get off the city's right away?
We're gonna
They
get off.
Get on private property and do that too?
No, we just gonna do what we can.
7 foot off the blacktop.
That's
city
right,
away.
you told me it's seven.
That's as far as our bush hogs will get.
That's right.
That's what it says, so that-
If you're gonna hire somebody to get on private property, knock yourself out. I can't do it.
You see where I had it while ago.
I think probably what he's talking about, Tim, is there's areas like 7 feet, like if you're bush hogging, there may be a pile of debris here that you have to come on this side of it, 3 foot, 2 foot, whatever, and just go ahead and mulch all that 7 feet on both sides all the way down. And, I mean, I think personally, I think it's a good idea.
One time, what's our one time?
One-time thing.
Yeah. Or,
Let's see what results.
which bid y'all wanna go with? You got one out of Puckett, you got one out of Minnesota.
Go with
Lowest, okay. All right, good. Tim got my sheet there. Tim, what's the lowest? Okay, Tim, you got it.
85.
All right, it's, who's had the cheapest one?
8,500.
Outdoor Solutions. All right, do we have a motion on hiring them?
I make a motion.
Mark,
Second.
all right. Mark has a motion, LaWan's the second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, there we go. All right, thank you. Next, approve the minutes. Approve the minutes, y'all.
I did.
All right, Sue has a motion to approve the minutes. LaWan's second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, next is claims docket. Approved claims docket. Y'all got any questions to John and I? Make a motion. All right, same motion, I'll do the claim document. You got one more? Sammy, you got the motion. 1 second, all in favor? Okay. Now, this time, Mr. Paul Arnold filled out his paperwork, and he'd like to speak to the board. Paul, you stand or you can go to the podium? Whatever you think.
I've got a few questions and some comments. This is for the board. Tell me the process and time frame for ordinance 231, section 407.
I don't have the ordinance. Is Penny here?
Do you have that?
Can you give us,
Penny?
can you read us,
Yeah,
give us the ordinance?
that's part of the zoning ordinance that prohibits derelict cars, trash, debris, accumulation of garbage and stuff like that in people's yards. Actually in any zone, but in residential zone included.
Tell me the process and time frame from the beginning, when someone calls in or y'all ride around town and you issue the letter. I need to know the time frame, how that works.
Jane,
Sir,
can you answer that?
Or Penny, or one of
yeah, that's probably just gonna be under zoning for Miss Penny.
So I actually have Mr. Arnold's whole case here, and it's got all the dates and times that all.
I didn't ask that. Now, we're gonna get to my case in a minute. I wanna know, the reason I'm asking is, I want you to tell me from everybody's section, ordinance 231, section 407, it ought to be the same for every person in the city of McGee. So I want to know from start to finish when that time frame is. Because let me just say this, last week I was in here and somebody, y'all been dealing with him for 3 years. Which I'm not really here for him, but I'm here. I want to make sure everyone is being treated the same.
You have a legal process you have to go through. From talking with them to sending them letters.
So we
What is that
identify-
time frame?
We identify a problem, and then we try to contact the person. Sometimes it's the occupant, sometimes it's the owner, sometimes the house is unoccupied. So we send them a letter, and we say, hey, these are the problems. Could you please address these problems? We give them 7 to 14 days, depending on how severe it is. And then we follow up. If nothing's happened, we can issue a citation. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we get contacted by that person, and they say, all right, I'm going to have it cleaned up by this weekend. If they don't, and we do the citation, then we come to court, and then the judge makes a ruling about whether that person was guilty or innocent of whatever those charges were, and then we move forward from there. They might get fined, they might get, more time. It just depends on the individual case.
Individual case, that's a key word right there. And that's what I'm coming to. I have an individual case too. Let me just tell you, Penny sent me a letter and an affidavit summons. I actually got it, the 16th day is when I received it in my mail. Now, I don't know when it was mailed out, but it was an affidavit for ordinance 231, section 407. And this is she wrote this letter on there, please let me know when you have a pile of debris to pick up and I will get it myself or get someone to pick it up. I will dismiss this ticket as soon as the tarps are put back on the cars or whatever. Now, I want to explain this to you. On that, where this place is, the roads were closed. There's a sign that said road closed. In the meantime, a storm must have come through and blowed off the tarps, off the cars, and off the shed where I had covered. Penny called me. I told her when the road was open, I would go back and do this. In the meantime, I get a ticket, affidavit. And the second part of this is about the debris. Now, this really upset me because I cleaned that place up October the 2nd. And I was told that debris would be picked up Now, Mayor Berry, you can vouch for me or don't vouch for me, it don't matter. I called him about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and asked him, would he get the city employees to come by and pick up the debris? So this letter is really talking about the debris that wasn't not even mine. I happened to be going through there, the city truck pulled over, I pulled in about a day after the roads were open, because I go through there every 2 or 3 days, and I asked the city employees, which let me say this, they did a great job, very nice, very professional. I asked them when was a work permit put in to pick up this debris in my yard over there. And the guys happily said they've never seen a work permit on that yard, and that Mayor Berry asked them to come by there and pick it up. And I want to thank him for that. But in the meantime, I get a ticket. So the debris in this letter right here is that's not my fault. So I don't believe that ought to have been put on there, because as soon as I went by there, I re-put the tarps on there. You can probably go, if y'all want to write another affidavit, you can probably go by there tomorrow, because probably with that storm blowing in, it's probably blowed them off again. I try to go by there. I believe I'm getting singled out for this, and I'm gonna move on, because I know my time's probably getting up.
It's up.
Do I need to come back next week?
It's y'all's fault.
Go ahead.
So in the meantime, I get a lot of phone calls, and so I ain't big on riding around looking at other people's properties, but two kind of stood out to me. Across from Penny's place, where she lives, and Sammy's place, I noticed a vehicle right across the street from where they live that has it's a vehicle on a trailer that's full of scrap iron, and it's been there a good while. Also, what y'all call a van that cannot be moved, been there, I know, for 2 or 3 years. So that's why I asked about the time frame. The time frame is for some people, and it's not for other people. And then the last thing I want to put, and this is, I think this is the one of your ward and across from Sue's house. I've seen these boulders across from Sue's house for about 35 or 40 years. So that time frame is not being worked out. And I'm very easy to work with, but when I get pushed, then I'm gonna fight back now. I'm gonna be honest with you. And my last statement is, I wanna thank Tim and his crew, and Mayor Berry, you can say yes or no to this. For 2.5 years, I've tried to get my drain fixed in front of my house. Now let me tell you what's happened to it. For 2.5 years, somebody, and I have not pushed the issue, but I'm going to push it. In the meantime, water is coming across the street, and it's coming out of my drain, and it is went in my yard. And let me tell you what it's done. I've got water damage on that side of my house. And somebody is going to pay for this besides Paul. Mayor Berry, have I not tried to get this done?
Sure did. We got Tim down there, and we tried to keep, you waited 2.5 years.
That's right. But Tim, I want to thank you for getting that work done in a timely manner. And whoever, I don't know who did it, they've done a little trench, and it's helped. And we'll see if the process will end up being fine. But I want to thank you personally. Thank you.
All right, now we're blessed to have the one top veterinary in the state of Mississippi, Mr. Dr. Paul down there. And he's gonna talk to us about parvo. A lot of people ask about parvo. So come on up, Paul, you can come to the podium, you can stand right there.
Thank you much, appreciate
Can
you all.
you listen now? Dr. Dog kept listening.
Yeah, I talked to Benny a little bit earlier a while ago. And I hate that y'all had to deal with this, but It is a problem with every veterinarian in the world, I promise. It's not just one that y'all have to deal with. So, when you're running a shelter and you try to do shelter medicine, I realize there's not a lot of probably budgeted money to take care of it the way it maybe needs to be taken care of. This particular virus is highly contagious, and it is one that also causes death in a lot of our little small puppies that are usually 6 weeks old to 6 months of age. Is usually the main one that occurs when this particular virus comes. It's a virus. It's transmitted in the stool of other puppies. So when you're running a shelter, I was talking to Benny, and he said, you know, on a good month, he may be getting 12 dogs, sometimes more, sometimes less, that are brought into the shelter. Also was inquiring about how many runs that we have to put these dogs in. And he said we had room for 10, we had problems with 5, so really we've only got 5 runs really right now. So I might encourage some activity that where we could redo these other 5 so we could have 10 runs to put pets in. Also, when we collect pets from the community that are unwanted or whatever, a cheap little tool that we use, most veterinarians have them, is to scan them for a microchip. Because if you can get a microchip number out of that pet, you've got probably a good chance of getting the owner, and you can call them and say, hey, I got your dog, come out and get it. That'll take some burden off of trying to deal with the feeding and the care and wellness of all pets that come in there. So having said that, if we could bring, when he is collecting them from the community and we had a isolation place that we could put them in addition to vaccinate, that's probably the best recommendation I can tell you, is to vaccinate those that are coming into the shelter. And you could probably pick that vaccine up at a really reduced cost from Dr. Cole or Dr. Kennedy, either one, and then let Benny, he said he could vaccinate horses, and so it's not a big change from vaccinating a dog. It's an under the skin or sub-Q vaccine that may really turn the tables on having to deal with it. Because once they get that, you can't adopt them out. I don't know how many we do get. How many do you get? Do you get any adopted out? I didn't ask that
Before
question.
Barbo, I was
Well,
adopted quite a bit. but
you were?
now-
Okay.
Right now, I'm
You
not
can't.
adopting
I
nobody
know.
from no
I know.
dog.
So when you vaccinate, how long does it take for it to be effective?
Yeah, you can get, depending on their immunity, on how normal or how strong or how healthy they are, you'll get immunity within a week or so, you know. But the problem with parvovirus is it's a virus that has a 2-week incubation period. So you can see that pet right now and it looks just fine. And in 2 weeks it'll break with bloody diarrhea and vomiting and be on death's door. So if we could isolate those coming into the facility for 2 weeks, vaccinate them as they come in, isolate them for 2 weeks, then move them over to the general population and adopt them out, you'd be pretty well protected in trying to prevent that puppy from being adopted into someone's home that's positive, that gets sick, that has to go to the vet and all the things. Because everybody wants to have a nice, healthy pet when they're bringing it into their family, because it's a member of your family really right now, y'all. I mean, the yard dog business is pretty much over. These people some of them don't have children, and they are their child, and they get attached to them just like that. And it's hard to have any kind of problem going on with them, because then they've got to deal with it. And so if you can control some of the viruses, that handout's pretty specific on what it is and how they're infected. It also gives you good information on cleanliness, because the virus hangs around in the surrounding areas for quite a while.
What can we do? Go ahead, Mark.
Question I had here, a month or so ago, we shut the town down
Yep.
for about 3 weeks, Benny, is that correct? 3 weeks?
Exactly 4 weeks.
4 weeks. And, so, for the parvo infection, what would you spray the pound with, the
Yeah.
kennels with?
Yeah. Yeah.
To
it's important to, there's a lot of products out there, quaternary ammonium is one of them, but the cheapest one that's very effective is Clorox. And there's a formula in that handout to give. And if you do the bowls and the area where dogs are and try to not transmit a lot of it on your clothes and things of that nature, you can keep it away at bay pretty good most of the time.
Okay, so you've got 5 kennels that you can't use because that's where the parvo has been.
No, they're tore up. They won't open up,
Okay.
according to what Vinny told me.
Yeah, the husky
Okay.
tore them up.
Husky.
For 2 weeks. More than 2 weeks, I can't hold 3 weeks. We got a 5-day stay and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Well-
they're still
So the-
tore up, right?
Yes.
We should have money in the budget to fix that though, right now.
It's probably chain link on block or something like that.
Chain link, got all the chain links all busted up, thanks to that husky. The contractor come the next day, I ain't heard him peep out at him.
Yeah, we probably.
Is it cyclone fencing you need? Or
No,
is it
sir, really,
carpet?
I need some good stuff.
That's what I'm saying, is it
Oh.
cyclone fence?
Yeah, like a 16
Yeah.
gauge
Okay.
cyclone
Yeah, like
fence
six-
or.
And is that something Sullivan Enterprise down there?
Yeah, we can get that done, we can get that done. I thought it was carpenter work, to be honest with you, what we need.
And then the
Stick
gate is
concrete?
probably, is most of the time the gates get tore up, you know, on the swing
I mean,
gates.
it's got Sullivan Enterprise, and that's one of their big things is, cyclone style fences and kennels.
I just
That's
need the
right, yeah.
concrete and where it'll drain.
Well, I mean, if you spray the areas that positive dogs are with that Clorox, I think it's 1 to, it's on the last page, I think, 1 to, a half a cup to a gallon.
Yeah.
Half a cup of bleach to a gallon of water and spray that, and let it sit overnight. You'll do a pretty good job of killing the
So
virus.
we can use it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I mean,
I'd
that's what-
always been told, we used to raise dogs, if it's there, it's been in the ground for 7 years,
And it is, it's there, it's hard to kill, it really, really is, but that right there.
Do we need
will kill
to,
it.
how often we need to spray these kennels?
Well, that again is gonna be, it daily helps, because that's a daily cleaning and washing and prepping and maintaining the
Okay,
cleanliness.
that's what
the
we
best
need to
you
know.
can
And
do.
you said.
But vaccinating them will help the most.
What we're looking at on the vaccine?
Just start $32 if the vet does it per dog. I don't know what the vaccination will cost
If you do, if we can buy the medicine,
You can get it for $3 or $4.
okay.
I'm sure
We can do that and just let Penny vaccinate.
And let Penny vaccinate every dog that comes
But,
in.
Penny,
Yeah.
can y'all find something like that online and get
We found
it
it.
probably I'd love to get it local.
We have a co-op.
Co-op has it. They have it. I just want to make sure it's refrigerated.
That's when I spoke to the director of animal health for the state of Mississippi. What she said was she recommends that we buy our own, so that, like online, from an online pharmacy, so we know the temperature is delivered to us, we immediately, because that's the problem with the effectiveness, that you can easily get it and it's cheap at Tractor Supply and Co-op.
Yep.
But we don't have any idea over,
You don't know how it got
long
there.
it was
Yeah, that
refrigerated,
is a
how long
problem.
ago. So we know where to get that, we've already done that research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can just vaccinate every dog coming in, and then, I don't know what that little scanner costs, but it would be very helpful to be able to do that and scan every dog and see if it's got a microchip, because.
You give them a kind of model or something, that they can go on,
Yeah,
or-
I'll get that back to you. I'll get the name and how you get that. But it's a great look, you just right across it, it'll beep, and they'll give you a number, and then you call the 800 number, and here's the number, and you got the owner.
Yeah.
And then they'll be coming down and get their dog, because I'm sure not all the dogs are strays. Some of them are probably somebody's dog.
I don't pick up very many.
Well, if you pick up one, I promise you'll have a hero doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Half of them that I pick up since I've been animal control officer has been on the east side, and every one of them has been strays.
Yeah.
Most of them been thrown out.
Yeah, and that's true. That's in any shelter business, you're gonna find that. That's not.
We're talking
that's
about
not unusual.
vaccinating. I don't mind vaccinating. I got one question. If I get a dog, like today, I was attacked. If I get an attack dog,
Oh.
which I got 3, how am I gonna vaccinate?
Yeah, put that on the shelf. Let me address this bite, because he said you were bitten today, is that correct? And it broke your skin
John's got the,
through your trousers on that. That dog needs to be quarantined for 14 days.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have rabies. 99% probably doesn't. Because Mississippi doesn't have a lot of rabies just coming from the health department. Alabama has a lot, believe it or not. There's some line that stops it, I don't know what. But having said that, that dog needs to be under quarantine for 2 weeks to make sure it doesn't start showing signs. And if you really want to know, then it needs to have the head sent to the state lab and get the test. That is the test for rabies. If they're positive or negative, it's in the brain. Unfortunately, that's what has to happen sometimes when we get bitten and things
yeah,
like
that's what the law
Because you
says.
don't want to take, you don't want to have, you don't want to
You
do it.
can't shoot it in the head, gotta kill it another way.
Do
You can't shoot it in the head.
No, don't shoot it in the head, and don't put it in the freezer. It's a, you know, take it to Dr. Cole or Dr. Kennedy and let them remove the head,
Yep.
and they know how to handle that, for sure.
When do y'all want the dog taken?
It's gonna stay in quarantine.
Well, you need to keep them quarantined for 14 days.
Exactly. Yep, and then
And
somebody
then you
needs to
will-
observe any kind of behavior signs that are abnormal, like not eating, you know, and the progressive signs is I think everybody's seen the foaming in the mouth, because it paralyzes the saliva and the ability to swallow, and that's why the saliva comes out and it's foaming at the mouth. In addition to other neurological signs. On that. Any other questions, concerns? I mean, in summary, the main thing is when they come in, vaccinate them, put them in quarantine, and then scan them. If this is somebody's dog, it probably is not getting according to what Denny
You had
said.
mentioned there a while ago that, you know, if we could keep them, when we pick them up 10, 14 days, kind of.
Yeah, if you got 10 runs, and he's only
Right.
doing 5 or 6.
What we only keep them 7 days now, Benny?
5.
5 days.
Mhm.
Is all we keep them now, before they're up for adoption.
Right. Yeah, and that's fine, it's just that the incubation is 14 days. So the dogs, before they get to you, if they break with a parvo, they've been exposed 14 days before then out in the community in there. So that's where, you know, would be beneficial to hold them a little while before you put them in somebody's house.
Talk about that, state, under the Mississippi state law, animal control, by law, you know, can't only hold a dog, 3 to 5 days, and that's when we adopted that, 5-day stay. Because it's costing so much to keep on and on. I have held dogs for 21 days.
When they go to Jackson after 5 days, what happens then?
They're gonna be
What
put
kind
to,
of breed
they're
they
gonna
are.
probably be, if they're positive, they're gonna be put to sleep.
But positive, but if they're not positive?
If they're not
Depends on what
positive,
kind of breed they are.
I don't know where they're going, or I'm not familiar with that.
What they do behind them doors, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't got good information for you on that part.
I do know a pit bull has pit bull is up there, they're gonna euthanize it. Soon as I take them out of that box,
Mhm.
they take that leash, they go young away with them, they bring my leash back.
Without the
I
dog.
sign a paper. But Miss Penny said they do adopt, I don't know, you cannot go behind door number 2.
Got it.
They don't want it, infected.
Right.
Yeah. Is that, I just can't.
I think 3 things that, one, we can fix the fan, we can fix the 5 runs, that's gonna be easy to fix. 2, we can get a scanner, it's pretty cheap, we can scan the dog, see if they got a chip when they come in. And then 3, we can get vaccine, relatively cheap, and let you vaccinate the dog.
Every dog that comes through.
That's gonna be good.
So, and again, we're not running a shelter here, we're running we got a dog. So, but that's 3 things that we can do to be proactive.
Yeah, and
I've learned more tonight than I have the whole time we've been talking about this.
Well, and another thing, I'd heard that we needed to have a new facility, like move from one facility to another
Yeah,
facility.
that's-
And that won't work.
It's not
Because
good.
you get this dog that's positive, he'll go to the new facility and then you got some
Yeah.
problem. So, you know, you can deal with what facility you have.
So just
and
spray every day and
Spray it daily with the
can help
Clorox,
control it.
clean the bowls. I don't know if you have a dishwasher heat, would help clean those a little bit, but Yeah, just the normal animal husbandry of keeping animals well-fed, well-watered, and clean helps a bunch.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for always learning a lot. Appreciate you.
You bet. All right.
Okay, next is, discuss public works team.
We ain't got nothing much, Mayor. We, had some water line breaks, sewer line breaks. Like I said, we've been bush hogging, weed eating and picking up trash every day. When my garbage trucks ain't running, I got the inmates walking the streets picking up trash. Just stay busy.
Hey, I got a question with volunteers. Did those signs come in, the street signs?
They did.
Have we got any of them up yet?
He's working on it.
Good, thank you.
I just got one guy doing it, so
I just didn't know if they had came in or not,
Yeah.
and got started.
yeah, they come.
And they, Mark and your ward, Sue's ward over there called the cemetery in the alley. There's a big sewer problem. We got contracted out. Have you heard of the
I'm
contract?
still waiting on his quote. I gotta get 2 quotes on
Yeah,
it.
you get 2 quotes, yeah. It runs in that alley, doesn't it?
It runs in between the houses and, well, what used to be, supposed to be an alley, but they ain't.
Right, right. And, in case that y'all get phone calls on, we tried to go over and patch it up. The residents that call us,
They got-
we'll patch up, we tell them we got to fix it.
They got 5 houses on a 4-inch line.
That's right.
Been a problem for a while.
He's working on that. Y'all got anything else for Tina? All right. Police Department, Mayor Shane.
Yes, more that packet I gave y'all last board meeting, we're not moving forward on that at this time. I just want to give you a little information. I'm waiting on a follow-up quote before we bring it forward. Other than that, the only thing I have is the personnel matter that we discussed last executive session. We're going to executive session to handle that, or we can handle it out.
Personnel. Maybe we need to go into executive if it's personnel.
It won't take 5 seconds.
Okay. Anything else? Fire Department, Buck.
I ain't got much, just gonna let you know, our bay 1 door is, y'all won't have the motor part up on it. We had the guy come out, get one open. We had the overhead door come out, they're gonna, replace the motor and all, cause he said he could do a temporary fix, but we just had it serviced 6 months ago, so he's coming, and, we got a PO and all, and they're supposed to be coming and fixing that door, so you can see that caulking tape. We got the trucks maneuvered around, so we ain't have to use that door right now, but, as far as that's all I have, unless you guys got any questions.
Y'all got any questions for Bub?
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for your help getting these flags.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, most definitely.
That was Tiffany, that was all
Hey,
Tiffany.
well, I know Tiffany's lady, but I'm just, so you were standing, I was gonna thank, I've already thanked Tiffany, but I want to thank you
You
first.
guys are welcome, anytime we can help.
And Charlie. Where's Charlie? There he is. Thank all of y'all.
All right. Thank y'all. Let's see here, we got, zoning matter opinion.
Well, the first thing I want to share with you is the update on Mr. Arnold's file, and I really wish they did stick around. I want you to know that we are very sensitive. Our team works very diligently on trying to equally apply our ordinances. We really do, but cases do differ. So the ones that he actually brought up, those are cases. I sent you the link for the survey, and you can go see, they are in process right now. So it's not like, we're just kind of picking on people or just not doing our job equally or trying to. But when it is a derelict vehicle, there is a different process because I need to know, whose car it is, who it's registered to, and so then I get Shane to help me with that. Well, that's a little bit of turnaround time. So then we have a different process. So it's not, I wish I could just, wave that magic wand, but that's not really how it works. But if you looked at that link, you'll see we have 81 open cases right now. Actually, some of them have been closed.
You said key word right there, and I looked at the app. We got 81 cases, so we're not singling out Mr. Arnold. We got 81 cases across this town, and I guarantee you I could probably add about 30 or 40 more to that right now.
Yeah. including the
It's a
ones that he
mess.
talked
It's a
about.
mess.
Just overwhelming.
It is a lot. It is a lot. But
Nobody's being singled out.
these pictures were taken today, and that's Mr. Arnold's, property that he did clean up. And as we agreed, I did dismiss that citation. I just asked him to clean it up, and, he's right, it was after a big storm. And he's right, it might be back again tomorrow. But, you know, things happen in our neighborhood too, and I go pick stuff up again after the storm. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't have any control of Mother Nature. You know, and I do appreciate, him taking care of that. It looks great now. That was today, like I said. So, you know, my team is on it, and we are always trying to give everybody the full benefit of the doubt and to work with them. That's why I told him. I know his stuff didn't get picked up that first time. I said, I'll go pick it up myself. Just let me know when it's out by the road, I'll go get it myself. So I regret that there's that feeling, and I understand nobody wants to be pointed finger at. But, you know, we are trying, we're trying. Okay, just wanted you to know that. So what I have now is a whole bunch of funds that's been, thrust upon us. So I was asked to give you these tonight, and I'm just giving them to you, and you have them already. This is about the cleaning up, the cutting the grass entrances, and this is the whole package. You had the whole one last time. It's it's for the 18 mowings that you talked about. And again, this is the one that you already had, so I don't know if you want to take action on this one tonight. Y'all had already made a decision, but there it is. Do you have any questions about that?
I have a question. Did y'all do it, and maybe you've answered this, and I hope I'm not out of line by asking, but did y'all do, because this is pre-me, a request for proposals on this, and did you send it out, or was it just, these are only two people that need
It's something we have done before, but, this bicentennial was coming up, and they want to please us, to, you know, try to help clean it up. You don't have to, yeah. Well,
But this aggregate is not.
yeah, that's a good point. The one that we voted on earlier was one-time deal. That one-time deal. According, I had to do my math there, that's, this one right here is somewhere around 55,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was what I didn't know about. The first one, about cleaning up the entrances, had already been approved. I think, okay. So then, I guess then you're just looking at that second one?
That's where you're talking about $3,000 cut, 18 cut.
Well, that's the point. These mulchers said, once you do the first time, you don't have to come back for a year later. You won't need this second, these other ones.
What's it gonna do to the grass, is my question?
It lays right there. You didn't see Southern Mine, did
It's not gonna hurt.
But I mean,
Duplicate services, and what you just approved with the mulching and this, did y'all just duplicate services?
no, we hadn't approved any of this, we're not doing any, we're not, this is not, the mulching is what we approved tonight, and that's what we're going with, correct?
This was good. The one
He said, but
is not duplicate services.
he's not gonna do this unless this gets approved.
Oh, that's the first time.
That's the first I've heard.
But he said he can't come in there,
Wait a minute now, we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the mulching.
Yeah, the mulching.
That's done. We
yeah,
don't
but
care.
this other is not gonna get done, that we, last meeting. Fairchild is not gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything. If we're doing the mulching, he's not gonna do anything.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you for that. I didn't understand how that was gonna work.
We got a mulch, okay.
So is this a one-time thing?
So instead of going to go to the mulching,
Yeah, the one you talking about this? No, it's been 4,000. And then the other one, I said, give them a map, would been 3,000, 17 cuts. That's about $54,000, which it would cost us. I don't have my calculator on me, but yeah.
Okay, just to clarify,
for the record, for the minutes, you voted to approve a month ago, I guess, the 4,015. So you are no longer going forward with that one?
Correct.
Because the guy backed out, said he's not gonna do it.
If all of it not approved, he turned the two bids in together and expected to get it all as one
He
thing.
thought it was the 50, 1,000, whatever.
I don't think y'all, the board, understood that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would like for
That's
y'all to
new.
make sure, let's make sure the minutes are clarified that you will no longer go forward with Banter Fairchild on
That's right.
fencing. And if you would like
Say
a
that-
motion to that effect, that would probably be a good thing for someone to come to your understanding that he has backed out. So a motion to withdraw approval for Fairchild. Your other vote, whoever voted in the positive for it last time can make a motion to bring this back up. You can open it back up and then move to, rescind the prior vote.
I'll make a motion that since we have approved the mulching, that we're gonna rescind this approval.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, Sandy, Bart, second, all in favor?
Thank you, Board. Thank you, Wesley.
John, I'll help you with that.
So this next one is the library, and Mike has looked at this, and in addition, this is a quote, and he said, Randy Brown did this, and he said he'll give us the official invoice tomorrow, or estimate tomorrow, but I wanted you to have it in case you wanted to move ahead with it, because we've been talking about this for months, and Tim has verified that the water leak is fixed. There's no more water leak now, there's just rot from the water leak. So he said, Mr. Brown said, what we need is that marine plywood to really, do the job well. And then that's what he said that he would do the whole thing for, $4,450. And then he had another estimate for paint, but it was exorbitant, and we can paint. I mean, Tiffany can get up on, we'll put Tiffany on the ladder. She's very comfortable up there, and good for
Now, where is this at?
in the library.
That's Library. Hey, y'all, I'll tell you, John and I was discussing about that last time. We had a big contractor. We had called him to come look at it. I mean, he's built several big buildings in Central Florida. He said, I don't know how, y'all, I tell y'all
All
last
you
week.
do is wrap it.
That's what he's gonna do.
That's all you can do is wrap it.
How he's gonna support the weight bearers and stuff?
He said he's got a plan for it.
Okay, he's one of my old students. He's a good one.
And several people have looked at it and shaking their heads at it. Some people have said, like Mr. Kraft had a plan for it, but he didn't feel comfortable until he heard from Tim's mouth that the water leak was done. But anyway, so, he can do this. If we approve this, he's ready to jump on and get it done.
I make a motion to approve and go ahead with fixing the beam on the library.
That's
It's
good.
been going on for about-
All right, Luana, second.
Since I've been on the
Yeah.
board, so let's get it done.
The guy never did contact you, Tim?
Nope.
He never did get back?
Never did come back.
So we have contract.
Yeah. That's a big time contract city.
We need to get a vote on it, Dale.
All right, we need to get a vote. All right, Mark,
Made the motion.
Mark, Mark's motion, Luana, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Board. It'll be good to see that taken care of. Okay, the next set of, it's actually two, and I don't know that we needed to get two, but just out of fairness, we did, because they're both under 5,000. So what happened was, everybody and the grandmother has gone over to Old Elementary to the gym, because we want to have that prayer breakfast there. And Mike's gone, and Christopher went, and then Mr. Billy went, and I know Patrick's gone, and Miss Clara and Mr. James have gone. We've all gone. I went, Charlie and Carol went, we've all gone. So it's pretty terrible, and that seems to be the biggest safety issue right now, is the ramp. Because it's the ceiling of the ramp and the support, they're rotted. So we have two bids of their neck and neck, and they say they can get it all done, all taken care of, and it would be ready for the prayer breakfast. So this is Mr. Billy, and he has done excellent work for us over at the community house, excellent work. He thinks that we're never gonna let him go, and we probably won't. I told him he should just put a cot back there, so it'd be easier to get to, but he didn't want to do it. So they both looked at it and said that they are in agreement, and Mike also said that he thought, and Mike, you can speak to it if you want to, that he thought that these were pretty good prices for all of that work. So, do you have anything else to add, Mike?
No, I looked at it, I mean, the structure underneath, I crawled underneath the structure's good and all, and, that bid was what they said, we went over that, with them and everything and all, and, I think it's a real good bid and all, and I wish that we go on with it on the ramp part.
Getting donations, there might be some donations.
We have
Somebody would
another.
offer give a demolition permit, we can volunteer and tear it down.
We do have another one that depends on volunteer work for the other part of it, so yes.
Hey, that wasn't just the ramp, though, it
That
also
was-
included the repairing of the roof.
Okay, that's what I was saying,
Line.
Mr. Billy,
Billy
his has got the deck, the
There's one
board,
that's all the price
and
of the roof.
replacing roof and damage, but I don't see where he says a ramp.
It's the deck, it's the ramp.
The deck, okay, that's what he's calling the deck, okay.
Yes, sir.
And then he was gonna also repair the buckle in the floor.
And install light bulbs, right?
So that
His
would
covers
be-
quite a bit more.
So Mr. Billy's covers more, but does less to the ramp. And then the other one does the ramp completely. So there's no patching, it's just completely done. And then the other parts of this one that Mr. Billy covered would be done by volunteers. So they're similar, but that's it.
So you think you can get the,
Is Mr. Billy here? I talked to him today.
Did Mr. Billy come? No.
Okay. We like to install the bulbs, and Mr. Bill and I talked today, and we were gonna get together on what we could, donate.
Okay.
I don't know if that was his intention, but I asked him about, donate some time, and like the bulbs and the inserts have already been purchased.
So that's the installation.
Yes.
And I talked to Mr. Billy, he sent that in to me about 4:35 o'clock.
Yeah, I talked to him this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
So part of the install that we covered at our bicentennial meeting was the floor is kind of delicate, and we want to restore it. So we can't put anything that's too heavy for the floor, and like Ms. James was pointing out, that there's a section of it that's just mushy.
Yeah.
So we need a different way. We couldn't just put a lift up there and just, easily screw them in. So that's a consideration too.
We got scaffolding already on.
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you want to wait and talk to Mr. Billy more about
Yeah,
this?
let me talk to Mr. Billy because he had some ideas. It won't be too long, like by our next board meeting.
yeah, but this needs to be done by the next board meeting. Can you talk with him, and we covered this Thursday in the workshop?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at.
Put that, 3 things there, John, for urgent work.
For your special
I'll get back with
call.
him tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see what we can do between now and Monday.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, here's the last thing, and this one's also for Mr. Billy, and this is the one that would be all done by volunteers. This is just materials. And we have quite a few people who have agreed to help out. That's awesome. And that's all this. Okay, so Tiffany talked with Mr. Billy about this one, so she can give you more information if you need that, but what we thought is we would just get the paint and the materials, and then we would make it a volunteer day, another volunteer day. There've been quite a few, and it's wonderful, and the kids go over and help, and everybody is having fun, but getting dirty and getting a lot done. And like I said, Tiffany's great at painting and getting on ladders, and she's just gonna do all
Not
this.
I'm good at rallying troops though, and I will help as well. But we do have a group that has agreed to go help with. They do.
Can we not get, paint at Walmart cheaper than $42 a gallon? That's just kinda high.
I mean, that's what
Sometimes
Mr.
it's
Billy
quality,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit of quality, sometimes.
Sometimes you have to buy 2 gallons of paint to do what 1 gallon to do if you got good paint, isn't it, Patrick? And you're paying more for the cheaper paint.
And I just got the estimate on the Clark and Kensington, because that's what our painter, Mr. Jerry, says that just sticks to everything and has the best coverage. So that's why I got that put on that.
I would do the guy that works out at the airport, but just, it's not.
Mine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, so y'all wanna wait on those left? Okay, perfect.
We'll do that Thursday.
Okay, the last thing that I have is just an update on Marvin Jackson Park. So we are having the sign installed tomorrow. So I told you before that Patrick had gotten those 2 trees cut down. So now the stumps have been removed and now the sign can be placed and they're gonna come out tomorrow, weather permitting. I hope it will be fine, just think it'll be a little foggy. And then he's gonna put the sign right there between where those 2 stumps were, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be nice. But I also have a quote, I don't have it compiled yet, but there's a quote that was put together, and we can get more than one if you want, about adding some things to Marvin Jackson as well. Like there are 2 concrete benches there now, so more benches and some shrubs and some, prettied up and landscaping around the sign. So just kind of think about that. Do you want to go forward with that or not? And like we had talked about it before, that when the park was dedicated a few years ago, there apparently had been some intentions of setting money aside to take care of that had not come to fruition yet. So we can do that very quickly, and in fact, in time for the bicentennial, if you are so inclined.
You're talking benches, are you saying benches or bleachers?
Benches, in the picnic area.
Because I did talk to Jimmy Zilla, he took the extra bleachers over there. I know they're over there.
That's what I was wondering if you would, because we had extra bleachers down at the sports complex. If
Yeah.
you were talking bleachers.
Which is nice, but those 2 concrete little picnic areas that are there, that's all there is. I mean, there's just nothing, But if they added some benches over there and some shrubbery and made it look nice, it would be a nice little cookout little area, little picnic area. So I'll have that for you. I'll get it to you as soon as I get that information. That's all I have. If y'all have any other questions, yes, ma'am.
What is happening with Area 51 down there?
I don't quite know what else to call it. Well, we're working with several of the property owners in that area, and we have open cases on them. And one of the property owners has been issued a citation and did not show up for court, so he was found guilty in absence, and so that's got fined. So there's that. And then some of the other property owners are calling, and we're discussing what they're going to do with their property. One of them did not receive her letter that was mailed in December, and I know that because it finally came back. It's April. So I got it. They kept attempting to deliver it. So I wrote another letter and sent that one. So we're trying to make contact with that particular person who's already had a hearing on the property. Hearing's already happened. So those cases are in process, and you can go on the link and you can see individually where we are with each one. And of course, you know about the one that fire at the piles out in the roads. That's been moved back.
The road's open.
The road is now open. Post office guy can go through, garbage truck can go through, fire engine can go through, so that's good. Anything else for us?
Debris pile over here on Second.
Yeah.
Contractor doing that, or?
Yeah, I talked to
Homeowner
him.
doing that, or?
Yeah, I told him we couldn't do it. I talked to him yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, really need to push that because that's right across from one of the main.
Karen and I discussed it yesterday, and I talked to the guy that did it, he knows that okay. Okay, that helps Penny. Parks and Rec, Jimmy's probably doing baseball.
Jimmy's got baseball tonight.
But I will tell y'all, I had a meeting with Jimmy today. He was supposed to be getting with Sammy Graham today on the splash pad.
Great.
Yep, I did find that out today. And like I said, everything else is going good. Animal control matters, Benny, when Benny comes, I just want y'all to, let me get his, certificate here. We have the only national animal doctor, the NACA Animal Control Officer 1. I think this is the only one in the state of Mississippi. Brother Benny is the only one. Let me get a picture of you and do a little bit. But go ahead and give us a report then. Benny?
Out of the 320, 329, there's 3 orders to serve. 4 dogs picked up. 2 of them was counting an attack at each side. 2 citations for the road and mud attack, and the 4th dog come in, the dog got me there. That's all I got.
And we still ain't got the big brindle dog.
I ain't seen that dog in a month.
I ain't neither.
I think I know where the dog's at, but there was so much damage when I picked him up, I can't swear that was the dog. I hope it is, but everybody at east side that I've talked to tells me they ain't seen that dog.
He was coming through Gene. House below us, right below them going through, you'd see him every few days go through there. And I hadn't seen him in about 3 or 4 weeks.
He used to travel through town a lot. I ain't seen him in town. I'm hoping that was him.
Maybe he's been took care of.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next, the airport matters. I have Mr. Larry Parks, the airport committee here, and also our new members, Skip Russell, the airport committee. And they briefly telling me what they want to do. They've been working with Mike and some more, and Larry can talk to y'all about it and get y'all voted on something. And then we're going to go to Keith for next.
Okay, first we'd like to commend y'all on the honor of Mike. We're really looking forward to working with Mike there. Mark, you there?
Yes.
So, I thought we were gonna have a couple of board members. Now, there's Skip, who we appreciate your voting, Skip. He's gonna be great for the board. Susan here? No. Okay. All right, so, anyway, just wanted to, like I say, just thank y'all for bringing attention to the airport, and look forward to working with Mike, who is going to do a good addition to it. So we met twice in the past week, trying to address some pretty important issues. One of those being the fuel situation that we have out there. So I'm assuming that all of y'all have received reports from the testing of the fuel for both the avgas and the Jet A fuel. As you probably know by now, the Jet A failed. So we have to get rid of all that Jet A. Now, it failed the test only for aviation use. Okay, it can still be used for ground equipment, such as farm equipment and so forth. And we've got to get rid of it. Now, we have had, I think, at least one person who's offered to come just take it. It was 2,500 gallons. But we think that it would be better if we could try to get something for it. So if we could issue a request for proposal for that, then I think that would be maybe the way to start. We don't have any time frame or anything on that, but I would think the sooner the better, because we have to empty it in order to inspect the tank and clean the tank, and before we can move forward with trying to figure out what we're going to do moving forward.
Can we not use it in some of the city motors and stuff? No.
Will it run in a regular vehicle?
No, it won't run a diesel pickup truck. It doesn't have as much oil as diesel has in it.
It's kerosene is what it is.
Ground equipment?
So I can.
What will it work in?
Tractors, bulldozers, off-road stuff that you have to add a little bit of oil to it to keep it lubricated on top side of the engine, but making fires.
So in the request for proposal, would we need to mention that it's basically kerosene?
It's just jet fuel.
Jet fuel is what we're gonna, right, is what it is.
They're
But
looking for kerosene, they're looking for something. It's the same principle. It's jet fuel is kerosene has to be refined one more time.
a little bit different, okay. So yeah, that's the situation with that. So we have got to move that, but we thought the right thing to do would be put it out for proposal in order to try to get a good bid for it. Get something for it anyway, say 25 gallons. If not, we don't get something in, we're gonna have to just give it away. And then pay to clean the tank unless we can get whoever we give it to clean the tank. Pay for that.
Pay for the tank.
Right, exactly.
You might could swap out the fuel for them having the tank.
Maybe, yeah, if we do. So hopefully we can sell it for something. And, be great. And then we move to the 100 low lead or the avgas. Okay, the situation there is it was approved for use, so that's good news. We have a price right now at $6.88 a gallon. What we've got to do is we've got to sell that fuel down, to get that fuel down to 300 gallons. We've got about 3,000 now. Is that right, Mike?
Right.
Yeah, roughly 3,000
We sold a little bit during the holiday, but.
that we need to get rid of fairly quickly so that tank can be inspected and decide what we can do from there. But for right now, the fuel is good for aviation, but we would like to sell it, we'd like to sell it quickly, which means we're gonna have to reduce that price. Now, we paid, I think we decided $4.99 a gallon. We bought it when the price was $4.99 a gallon for that fuel, roughly. So we just may have to be prepared to discount it a little bit below that in order to sell.
What is competitive prices?
Okay, so when you compare it to airports in our area, and Dusty would know this more than me because he does a lot more flying, but we're seeing prices anywhere, Dusty, correct me if I'm wrong, $4.50 to about $5.50.
Yeah.
That's the going prices right now.
$4 to $5.50, but, there's,
So to put it on sale, we may have to discount it below what we paid for it. We can try a different price on that, but.
I'd be good with $4.50 to get it out, to get it.
You may want to talk to your lawyer about that, because I don't think a municipality can sell anything less than they paid for it.
I'm sitting here looking at the code section. Thank goodness I brought it.
That's good.
Just had a feeling it might be needed tonight, disposable property. And first of all, you kind of need a value on it to see what you can do. If it's less than $1,000, you can sell it by private sale. You will need to have a motion tonight that is cease to be used for public purposes. You're not using it for public purposes any longer, or it would be in the best interest of the municipality that you either sell it, or if it is of zero value, then, and I mean absolutely zero value, then you can dispose of it in any manner that you seem proper. But y'all have got to come to some sort of understanding of the value of it.
So that would be for the Jet A, right?
Yes.
Probably.
But for the avgas, even if and we don't, that's the thing, it is still good for public use. And
For public use, for the municipality's use, or?
for aviation use,
Okay.
so we can sell it to anybody who wants to come in and buy the fuel. But it needs to be an attractive enough price that pilots will actually come and purchase it, purchase pretty quickly. And I don't know what that price is, it may be $4.50, it may be $5, I don't know. I mean, $5 at least gets us, so if we can't go below the purchase price, then, we may have to stick to that. But anyway, we didn't come in here to try to fix a price or anything, we just thought we'd share the information. We knew you may have to research it a little bit in order to do that. But I just wanted to give you the information so we can move forward with that and try to start moving that fuel as quickly. But we know it's not going to sell for
$5. Can we declare it surplus?
Yeah, why don't y'all make a motion that it's no longer used for public purposes?
Okay, now wait, we're talking on
You can do two different ones, you can split them up.
Okay. The Jet A is no longer good for
That is,
aviation.
for
purposes.
aviation, that's correct. That's gonna have to be disposed of in some other way, that's right.
So, we need a motion to dispose of it, and that's what he was asking you to see if you need to get come up with some type of proposal to put out there for, run
Yeah,
it.
exactly, yeah. And, you know, we didn't know, we thought maybe we may have to get bids. If we just gave it away, somebody may complain that they didn't get an opportunity to do that. So, that's a recommendation, there's doing RFP.
On the Jet A?
On the Jet A?
And it would be in the best interest of the city to dispose.
Yeah.
Mark got a motion.
Second.
Make the motion that we need to make sure that whoever received it is capable of disposing it, that it won't come back on the city.
You know, they don't go dump it, somebody pays.
I agree with that.
Can I make a suggestion? If we couldn't sell it, maybe you talk to State Fire Academy, you know, Mississippi State Fire Academy Jackson, they could probably use it in their fire training. They do all the burn pits. I don't know if that's something legal matter or not, you know, they burn tons.
That's a good idea.
That would be great.
It would
Good
be-
idea.
I like that.
It would be.
Can you check on that for us, Buck?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, statute allows that.
Yeah, she said we can do that.
If another government authority can
Yeah.
use it.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they come down and get it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Now we're on
that
the,
would be incredible if that happened. And it would be best if somebody could just take it all at one time, you know, instead
If
of,
we get it all.
right, yeah. Okay,
I would suggest for purposes of that, just so you can get past it tonight, that somebody do a motion that you can no longer use this jet fuel in connection with your operations at the airport. And then it would be best, in the best interest of the city, that it be disposed of according to state law, you know,
That's someone advice.
in any manner you could do it. Yeah, and you can either do it by public sale, you can do it by private sale, depending upon the value of that value.
okay.
You could do it by auction, or if the value is zero to you,
If
or
we
you
go
could
with
let
the
it go to
state
another
fire marshal.
municipality. So I'm just saying, make your motion broad enough that you can dispose of it.
You got all that, John?
you got down everything you said? One of us will make that motion. Mark, you wanna do it, or you want me to?
I make a motion that, support Wesley just.
Mark motion, Sam second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I assume that Mike will be in the loop on what's going on, so he can, so we can take whatever action we need to take?
Yes.
Going forward, okay. All right, so then,
Then you're to the gas.
Dev gas,
Alf
right,
gas.
Dev gas, which is good to use. Make a motion on the price tonight if you want to, but if you
What do
need to
y'all
research
think?
it a little further and decide what.
I mean, I wanna get down competitive where it can, we can get can we go below what we paid for it?
It doesn't say you can't go below what you paid for it, but it does say you gotta follow the hoops on disposing of it.
Well, this is good, they can use it in the plane.
This is putting it on, this is putting it on
So they
sale.
can get it
Right.
there.
What this
We're
is.
running a sale to try to entice people to come to McGee Airport and buy fuel.
So you're selling it in increments and not necessarily.
Oh, that's right, this is free for pilots to come in, but these prices get posted on websites that pilots use, so they know what the prices are. And when we fly, we research the fuel prices, that's one of the things that we look at when we decide where to stop and refuel. And so that is one of the determining factors on where they're gonna go.
If your sale is less than $1,000, for example, to a particular pilot, and y'all agree unanimously that you want to sell it, you can do it that way.
I mean, I think most of the purchases be below $1,000, wouldn't it, at a time?
In McGee, yes. Yeah.
Why can't we just let?
Yeah, we don't have those
make
big
the
planes.
decision on what to sell it? I mean, why can't?
Just do a motion that you no longer need it for use with the airport, and that you are authorized to sell by private sale as long as it's $1,000.
Ms. Wessel, they're coming out two different types of fuel.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm on the second.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
But this
the
is gonna be sold to
oh,
pilots.
this is gonna be sold.
At the airport.
But it will be sold to private entities if it is less than $1,000. If it is
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah,
being
okay.
flexible.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Okay,
Now,
so.
what kind of price y'all think is
I just think
feasible?
we're gonna let them do the price. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, assume we're gonna get to there. Right.
Okay, so we have a recommendation on the pricing determination.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it right there. You
And
answered
I think
Sue's question. This is it,
Yeah, this
Sue.
is the report. We've talked about this, and we thought it'd be, first of all, for the airport board to determine pricing. It may be a conflict of interest because some of us are pilots, and we purchase fuel, so we thought maybe to avoid that and also from putting it on any one person, that if we could just have a three-person panel consisting of the airport manager, the mayor, and also, see, I already said Mike, airport manager, and then the chairman of our board, then we can get it done quickly, because sometimes prices need to be, not wait for the next council meeting. So that's a recommendation, is to have this three-person panel to decide that they can do it over the phone, whatever, but just, okay, we need to lower the price or whatever. And if you guys wanted to set parameters on what that pricing needed to be, whatever, but that does get two city employees involved, and then the airport committee involved.
I'm good.
I think it's a good idea.
I'm making a motion that we,
I would try to sell it for at least the money.
At least what?
At least what you got in it if you can.
Okay. Okay, and
My
so,
suggestion.
so,
Sometimes we can't, that's the only problem.
You can.
And then, Mike, the best way to do it, our competition is Combined, Brookhaven. And they check
450
in,
does-
and you say, you know, we'd get together on what they're doing for their, Brookhaven, their
Yeah.
competition. When you say so, Larry, that's the two that are competition for selling fuel.
those are, Bobby Chain, probably,
No, Combined County is your number one competition, but that's a private entity, so they don't care if they make a profit or not.
Okay.
what are they selling at?
Last time I think they were 450 or 475. The next one would be Columbia, they're right at $5.
sometimes
And then-
Prentice.
And then the next would be Raymond,
Right,
which is
yeah.
owned by the Hines Community College.
That's a big one, that is.
So, anyway, so the information is there to do that.
Good with that. No, I make-
Make a recommendation that we have the three-person panel that, set the prices.
Sammy got the motion. Marge second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. That brings us down to Mike and purchasing fuel in the future. So we've discussed, first of all, we fortunately, got Mr. Kiefer with us at our last meeting, and he was there to update us on grants, and also to set in motion training for Mike for how to handle fuel, how to manage all the operations at the airport. There's more than I thought to do out there. And so, a little bit more, right? We would have thought, but.
I think it'll level out though, once we get
It
everything.
will, a little bit, once we get everything checked.
Changeover,
It's just a little bit with the transition. That's it. And so anyway, he was there with us for that. And so one of the things that we talked about is being able to search for alternative suppliers. You know, so researching and how we can split loads with other airports in order to get our price down, because obviously the less we pay for it, the less we can sell it for. And then also to be able to get Mike into a fuel training class. We have one person on the board, Susie Bourne, has attended that class in the past, but certainly Mike needs to go through that so he can be certified.
He needs to do it.
Yeah, to do all that, so it's okay. I mean, we'll continue to pursue that and go ahead and try to get that moving forward. Is there anything that I need to add, Keith or Mike, to that part of the report? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now, we've got money set aside for training, so would Mike fall under that money that we got for training for the other for the other employees? Wouldn't he fall under that, Mayor?
Yeah, and then we got $500,000, we can spend some of that, can't we? Right.
The training is free, it's just the hotel for that night. Yes, but the training is free. But they put on by the energy companies, yes.
Yeah.
And the computer-based training come first, then the hands-on training is just the hotel and per diem for that travel.
Yeah, we can do that, yeah.
So y'all want us to work with him in conjunction with that to
Let Mike get the
get that
dates
done?
set, yeah.
Okay, and obviously I realize that y'all have to work with him because he has other duties besides that, so. Okay.
But we knew in the beginning, that was gonna be a big part.
Right. Okay, so then the other issue that's pretty immediate is the cutting of the grass that's outside the safety zone. I know we talked about farmers and we coming in and baling hay with it and so forth, but I don't think anything's actually been done with that yet. Am I right?
We haven't, Dusty was doing that Dusty.
He was trying to work something out. But the last meeting, we thought maybe it may be good to do a request for proposal on that as well, just in case there were others out there that were interested.
Yeah.
So, does that sound reasonable to do that?
What they, down the runway, there's a 30-foot buffer on each side of the runway.
There's
45 feet from each, from the edge.
45 feet on each side of the runway, it's gotta be kept mowed. Outside of that
And
buffer,
Mike takes care of that.
yeah, outside of that buffer, the grass can grow up. And we've had some farmers express interest in coming in and cutting it for hay. And rather than get in alienating people, I guess is what
I
it's
think
like.
so, yeah. Maybe
Put it out,
it'd be
put a
illegal.
bid out there, or, you know, put it out, make it general knowledge that it wants to be, if it wants a price on this, or, you know.
Right. So that's kind of where we are on that, and we didn't know if we had the authority to move forward with that, or if y'all wanted to do it.
I think you just need.
Legally, we had to
I think we need
get
to
the
do
attorney
it.
involved.
Y'all think that Mr. Larry and them just need to get with Westland and get this worked out on about bidding it out for the cutting the hay and all?
RFP?
Yeah, yeah.
So
We
we
just
have a
run
motion on that
papers for
tonight.
3 weeks, yeah.
Go ahead.
Make a motion.
All right.
Second?
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, we can run 3 weeks in papers. RFPs.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so then we go down to grants, and y'all may be up to date on the grant situation, but the only one, my understanding is the only one that we've actually have the funding for that has been approved is the fence and the security gates. Is that right? Keith, that's the only one in that project. You signed, I think probably just signed off on that?
Yeah, I think so,
You
yeah.
got paperwork? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so my understanding is that project could be started as early as July or August. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so this is just, we just met Good Friday, met 3 days ago, so we have 3 days straight. Okay, and then the next thing that we discussed is if we're gonna attract pilots to our airport, it's not just about the fuel price, it's about other services that we need to be able to offer, and that's one way that we decide where we're gonna go, who's got a courtesy car, you know, who's got services around the airport, you know, are we gonna be able to tie down? I mean, most airports I've been to, you know, if I wanna leave my plane and go somewhere for a while, then there's ropes for me to tie it down. We don't have any ropes out there. That's a simple thing, cheap thing. I think, Mike, you're gonna.
The hooks are already there, all we need
Yeah,
is
the
a
hooks are
rope.
there. All we have to do is
Hooks are
put ropes out there for the pilots to use.
Let's get the road.
Yeah.
That's
We
just part of
should
the
have that in the
maintenance.
budget, shouldn't
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
never had them out there that I know of. It would be just a small, a little convenience, you know. with the
Okay, see, on here you got courtesy cars.
Right.
Courtesy car.
Doesn't the city have something
And that's
that
the
we
big one.
can put out there?
We pretty skinny then, can you spare one? I don't think, Mike got your spare truck. Did you? Shane? Have you got one that you're not using? I don't.
We got one sitting out there with 10, I don't know if he moves too much.
Well, this is not an immediate need, you know, you may have a car that needs to be auctioned or something at some point, maybe that.
Well, probably do it in October, your next budget season. we get public works need to be vehicle, and then we'll pass you one down.
Yeah, well, that'd be incredible. It's just one of those things, McGee has so much to offer.
I think this is a great.
You know, yeah, so much to offer, and if we've got ways for pilots to get around, maybe go somewhere, spend the night, and bring the car back the next morning, you know, go to Zips, go to Jose's, whatever, you know, while they're here, then, you know.
Go to McDonald's, go to Newton's.
Yeah, exactly, Newton's for sure, yeah, yeah.
Dukes, you know about Dukes?
There's not a lot of.
I make too many trips over there.
I don't know if there's any Newton's at those other airports we just talked about, you know, so, yeah. So anyway, it's a great place, you know, to live around for a little while, if they can get around, but normally.
He was always said this is a good location.
But normally they're coming in stranded, you know, so.
Yeah. Yeah, if y'all wait till October, we can
That's a
make
good
that.
idea, like the mayor said, in October, next budget committee meeting, we'll.
Y'all have been needed years ago.
We have need, and there are other things that we could look at down the road too, but I think those are the two, and especially the first part, that would be huge.
Because, in Senatobia, I was up there, and I knew a guy that flew in there. Senatobia has a Ford Ranger, they is cheap.
Well, yeah, and as far as how we handle all that legally and how we, you know, manage all that.
That's once you make the big bucks.
Before I go. Figure that out before October. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Larry. Keeper, you gave Lane the details of board, everybody all right?
Just, I was, had dropped off the application and the contract, so we can go ahead and get moving on that and go ahead and get things moving. But, you know, we'll get it moving fast right after that.
All right. Building inspector, okay?
So I don't know if you saw this in your, this is the revised layout, and you'll see in the image, and I apologize if you copy well. We did some adjustments to this. There was, after we initially did a pricing, and then we've gone through several discussions, and the girls up there are really concerned about safety issues, and the biggest thing was the video that many people saw where the gentleman jumped over the judge's bench and attacked the judge. But that's one of the things that we've discussed. We also discussed that there's no, it is not secure back there. And we've talked about adding a door and making it a little more secure, and then adding some glass panels around that first station so that someone can't climb over. And so I've gotten a revised pricing, and I need to get a total for that. I just gave you guys the last 2 pages.
Yeah.
It's, what's that, about
24 something.
What's the office made? Is it a hard surface or is it cloth?
No, it has a, the front surface will be a wipeable finish.
Is it on the inside?
We were concerned about people kicking it, and, you know, when you walk up to it, and that fabric can get damaged, so we asked to do it like a solid.
It's hard as hell. Brett says we have the money.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think we did. What?
Probably something we need to discuss.
Yeah, Thursday. Brett's gonna be here, by the way.
So we'll do this Thursday.
Brett will be here Thursday.
And then I'd also like to ask about the Heat Preservation Commission ordinance. Has there been any decision on that? I think it's prudent that we continue that discussion, since we've asked Mr. Odom to do his work. It's time for us to do our work as well.
Yeah.
So he's been over there getting the building secure, and we need to give him an answer one way or the other. So I think, I mean, we can do a work session, we can do, if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything in particular, particular, but I don't want to just sit on that either.
You want
Something to do Thursday.
Thursday, let's set that to our list Thursday. Can you be here Thursday at 5?
Ain't gonna be no longer than this one.
I'm figuring a little later than 5.
Huh?
I'm coming back from Hasbro that afternoon, so.
Yeah, if you can get in sometime another, we'll do you Thursday on that. Who?
What's it for?
For the review preservation ordinance.
In this office.
And your office manager.
Red figures, right?
Yeah.
Red and orange figures.
And then as far as billing, I have requested that I have an executive session for personnel.
Okay.
Code enforcement, Shane.
Steve, this is, copy, kind of, we talked about. Board, we talked about the, y'all wanted an update and kind of to where we were about the ordinance for our apartment complexes. Excuse me. Me and Miss Penny met numerous times, talked with Libby, and so this is the last email that transpired, just kind of what we put together, and went to Miss Westland, and we've talked to her. So basically what we're looking at is the recommendation on this, because it is considered multifamily dwelling. So that would specify our apartment complexes. And we took into consideration just what Mr. Patrick said about per unit. Looking at that and looking at our fees that we charge residential now, which is $13 a month. And this would cover the $7 per unit, recommended 2 pickups a month to help out with that. There'd be a designated location at each spot to let them know, no different than where their garbage bins are now. This would strictly be debris, which would be furniture, things of that nature. What we're seeing that gets thrown out there. This would exclude and prohibit anything with asbestos or lead in it. No normal household trash, they would still use their dumpster. This is strictly debris. We're not getting anything, and we're having to pick up stuff there, so to help with the cleanup. So what we would recommend would be a cost of $7 per month per unit. And we've got some examples down here. Just like I would say the very first one, if you'll go about 3/4 of the way down, that is an owner that owns 2 complexes. Total of 82 units total. He'd be responsible for $7 fee, so charging $574 a month is what he would get charged for that complex. And then the one right below it is a smaller complex. They only have 15 units, so they would be paying a fee of $105. So that kind of gives you an upper and lower range of, what we'd look at, and that strictly come off of putting the numbers together. Like I said, the $13 fee that we pay as residential in the city. And our $13 fee as residential covers your household garbage picked up twice a week, and also limbs and debris picked through the month. So, and when you really look at it, you're breaking it down. And I know if you said 2 pickups, $7, we're only getting debris, but if you look at the apartments, it's basically single residential housing under multifamily dwelling. So the recommendation would be for multifamily dwelling, would be how it would be labeled. Talked to Ms. Westland, she said, depending on what y'all voted and agreed on, she'd be more than happy to put that in the ordinance form, where we could move forward with that. If y'all like the proposed numbers and stuff of what we're saying. So.
I do, I got construction debris, wouldn't that be the contractor that would be responsible for
Well,
that?
most of them places have their own maintenance person, so if they go in there and that, they have a little construction debris or whatever, we're not talking about a whole remodel.
But don't we need to specify?
That would be,
excludes
yes, it would,
renovation,
it would,
construction?
there'd be, and that would be exception, just like I said, it's not on here, but specified places to put that. And, but it would be in the ordinance to specify word for word for y'all, y'all to look at and be able to approve, so. This was just a rough draft. Ms. Penny typed this up, emailed it out after we got through meeting, and, this was what our recommendation would be to the board. I think it would help, rectify a little bit of the issue that we're having now. I know it's not a set fee, and I believe just like Mr. Patrick said, it's hard to do a set fee because of the size of different apartment complexes. We have 12 apartment complexes in the city, so.
Well, I mean, you got a set fee of $7.
Exactly.
Per unit.
Yes. So, and it's not.
It's fair to everybody.
Yes, depending on the size of it, so.
My only question is consider whether this covers your base cost.
Yeah. Well, I think it would, looking at what our fuel prices are now. And right now, our costs for these are zero. And, we're not getting anywhere. So this is actually, Ms. Penny might have it in front of her. We did have a figured up total cost for the month, which you'd kind of be looking at, which would be somewhere in the range of,
Close to 4,000.
yeah, I was gonna say close to 4,000.
But also, Tim weighed in on this too,
Yeah.
because we knew that he's gonna be the one, his guys are gonna be the ones out there doing this work. So, I mean, when we talked, correct me, Tim, we'd say like, we thought this was, so we considered all these different, options, so one was just like a flat fee, whatever. But then, it makes more sense to do the unit one, because they're gonna have less stuff to pick up anyway. So, I mean, what do you,
Yeah, every month ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah.
You may have,
And
they
it's
may
every
change
2 weeks.
furniture out.
Yeah.
When somebody moves out, you may have a load of furniture. And then next month, you may not.
Exactly. So it would just be across the board cost. And like I said, that would offset, I think Mr. Tim, it help offset the diesel fuel and man hours that you're having to use, so. But if y'all are good with the numbers and stuff and, would like to move forward with writing the ordinance, Ms. Wesley will be able to do that.
Shane, the only problem I see.
Yes, sir.
I'll let Patrick.
This is a better way. We tried to scale out our local businesses and we tried to put them all on the same
Yes.
playing field. And it didn't work out too
Yes.
good. So this here is a better way.
I mean, I
Yeah.
like this here.
Well, originally we looked at just saying commercial, but then when we got to talking and I told Ms. Penny, I said, really is, you're looking at multifamily dwelling is what they're zoned as. So that would be more specified straight to our apartment complexes on that, for that fee. So,
I mean, I like it.
The only thing that I see is Tim and I on the county roads committee. And right now it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning.
yes, sir.
But I'm telling you, Tim sits in there, Mendenhall, D-Lo, Braxton, they said, why you go open up on Wednesday just for McGee? We may have to pay a guy overtime come on Saturday morning to haul.
Yes, sir.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning.
The thing
Like
is,
that.
it just says that on there.
Okay.
If they're willing to
Yeah.
do that, but, right now, we know it's Thursday, Friday.
I think we can make it Thursday.
And I
Friday.
think too.
Yeah,
Once
don't
we
you
get
think so,
past
Tim? Maybe you behind
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
overtime every now and then.
And the thing is the way we're looking at it right now is we're getting done with it now that way. It continues going that way. Once we get past the initial pickup of everybody putting it out there and stuff and getting a routine of it, it'll be no different than driving by someone's house. It'll just be no different running the garbage route, basically. So,
I got a negative quick.
all right.
What if they don't want to pay this?
Well, it's, that's on y'all for the ordinance, and that's y'all's decision board. it's kinda like the water bill, sometimes with cost and stuff, you have to make changes, you know, I hate to say it that way.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Right.
asking, you know, what do you do if?
I don't know, that's out of my pay range, but I can't,
They don't get the water. We cut the water off.
so, but.
I mean, that's what,
you know,
tied to that is.
That's right, that's why you pay one lump bill.
It's kinda like,
I mean, I'm just asking,
That was-
there won't be any.
that was brought, that was a question
know.
in,
Well, they
and Ms.
can't
Penny did
expect us
have.
to keep picking it up from nothing.
Yeah, so-
I mean, I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question, you know,
That's,
what,
to be
what
honest, that's gonna be the phone call y'all get probably on
Yeah,
that. so-
like you say, Shane, each unit not be $7, they'll pass on their rent. you
That's
know?
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I figured will happen, to
Yeah.
get passed on to something like that, so.
I make a motion
Big
that
issue's
let
gonna be
Shane
having
and
household garbage and all that mixed in with it.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the thing, like I said, it's gonna be a headache at first, till we get it straight. But, I believe once we get it straight, you know.
So it's gonna be up to them to keep
Yeah,
it separate.
exactly. They're gonna have, that's why I'm saying it's gonna have to be a specified area, not next to their dumpster. Accessible area where it's not next to a fire hydrant, which happens, not under a power line, which happens.
y'all gonna have to educate them on this.
That's exactly what we're gonna have to do. You know, it's gonna be, this ordinance goes through, we take the time, we go meet with their maintenance person, the owner of the complex, and say, hey, you know, here's a copy of the ordinance, this is what's fixing to happen, you know, it is the same process with any ordinance, you know, you're gonna probably have owners that come and, you know, wanna address the board and stuff, so, and it's gonna be growing pains in the beginning like anything, so,
Yeah, well, you've got it highlighted here. This does not include normal household trash.
yes, sir.
The disposal, which is responsibility of the apartment manager or owner to provide dumpsters for residents.
Yes, sir.
You got it there.
But,
Is this limited to only the apartments?
yes, ma'am.
That are
Multifamily
using
dwelling.
dumpsters?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
Because you've got-
it's towards, you have some that didn't, that pay, we do have some multifamily dwellings that have a garbage fee. So these are strictly just the ones that have the dumpsters that do not pay a fee. Our multifamily dwelling, apartment complexes. So, saying that, and it's roughly 4 to 5 apartments or so, but the ones that do, are paying the garbage fee, and we did look at them too, they're already paying the fee, so there's nothing, so, and actually, they're paying the $13 fee, so.
Okay. Make a motion that.
Yeah, I do. Sammy has a motion. Mark second, all in favor?
We'll get with Ms. Westland, we get it wrote up for y'all to be able to present.
Is there an update on the apartment at SAU?
We are having a meeting, what day was that? You sent one of them? Yes, ma'am.
April 16th.
16th. We will have a meeting, so, as of right now, probably not.
Oh, yeah. You talking about Stacy? The one that answered your question? I told the owner, I said, these aldermen are serious, they ain't playing. I said, you on the clock, right, Shane, he's on the clock, ain't he? 30 days.
Had a meeting last week, he come down, I had a little emergency, Buck and Charlie met with him, and, just basically told him, you know, hey, this is, you've got to get up to code on everything, same thing we told him in the board meeting. He had his contractor with him, and, I think his contractor realized it was a little more than what he thought, so, we're gonna have the meeting on the 16th, but, to say at least it's not looking good, so, for him, because he was given the 30 days, so.
Don't give him any more.
We will present that after the 30 days. One thing I do apologize, I was gonna have y'all a printout of the property list that we have. For some reason, this is the way it prints. I had trouble reading it, so I didn't try to, and it's 81,
Well, Penny sent us an email.
that's exactly right. Miss Penny last week
Like I
sent
say,
it.
it's 81 properties, and I can add about 30.
Yeah,
probably 30
so
to it.
this is what I did get printed. I wanted to show y'all when I had that problem. This, y'all can pass it around. That's the dates Yeah, that's on the back there. That's actually got the dates of, from February 5th till April the 1st. That's 81 properties just in that length of time. And we're still updating it. Miss Penny, we're still getting pictures. She's updating it constant. Things that have already been done, letters, things like that, but just to let y'all know that, and that was up until yesterday. It'll continue to grow. So if there was something you did see that wasn't on there, it's not that it hadn't been done. It just hadn't been put into this app yet that we're using. As soon as we do, it'll update. And I think it's fair that, y'all being able to look at it and see it, and then we can send you updates and say, hey, we've updated this week. There's this many new properties or whatever on it, to kind of give you an idea. And I just wanted to show that because I'm sorry I couldn't get the printout for you, so.
Yeah, and stay on top of it. And
Yes.
the main thing, be fair and consistent.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
Fair and consistent. Like you're doing that,
Yes,
nobody
sir.
can say I'm being singled out.
Well, and that's one of the things, I wanted to show from February 5th until April 1st, there's been 81 cases logged. So that's 81 different properties in the city. I will give you an update from last board meeting. We had the hearings. The house on Rankin was purchased by a lady. They have been cleaning up around there. I think if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Charlie thought she was in the process of getting ready to pull a building permit to fix some stuff. I don't know that 100%. The houses in front of the church up there, the son and his niece come forward, met with us. They've cut the grass and stuff. They've started cleaning up. They're going to get a contractor to come in. She has some other rental property. They're going to get it fixed and rent both of them properties out. So you notice the house on 11th is somewhat of a smaller pile left due to the dump only being having Thursday and Fridays. He should be back at the end of the week, finish cleaning that up, so that'll be completely cleaned off. So we've got some other properties in town we're looking at. I think some people have even come forward already that had abandoned properties and wanted to know what they could do to get theirs to keep us from going through the process of having a hearing on them and things like that. So I think that possibly the message is getting out, so to be able to, and but that's all I've got forward. If you've got anything else, but we'll go forward. I'll get with Ms. Wesley before the next board meeting. Me and Ms. Penny we'll get this road up so we can move forward with that too.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you.
Here, I had an update on the same property. Stacy Apartments. Mr. Jackson came and met with us last week. Carol was out of town, so David Kraft, myself, and Penny, we met with him. He and his contractor in the background. We were straight to the point, we were professional, and we were strict. And we told him that the board had ruled and that he had a 30-day deadline. And I said, I'm not going to give you a list. As far as I'm concerned, I said, I've been doing this for almost 5 years. They're inhabitable. And I said, they need upgrade. I said, if you want us to consider you, I'll take what you bring me back to this board. But you got to bring me a scope of work to be done and a plan to follow it through. In other words, you've got apartments that may be partially occupied. There's 8 units in them. Relocate those folks to an apartment, renovate this apartment, and then you can move. You got 8 apartments that meet the quality that we need. You got to be up to code and everything. I said, if you bring me a plan like that, I'll bring it back to the board and introduce it to them and get their ruling on it. I said, otherwise, April the 16th, the deadline is up. And so we didn't entertain anything else. As contractor understood, no work will be performed without pulling the appropriate permits, and Carol and I will be on it every day, monitoring that if that scope of work is presented. The 16th that he's requested a meeting for is y'all's deadline. So we meet that night as the board meeting as well. So we may have something for you. Well, we will have something for you, but it may be to pursue it onto a public hearing. If he doesn't have a scope of work as we ordered it to. That's the update I have. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you for what you do, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Emergency matters, any emergency matters? I think we got some questions, especially the police department. Bill,
I have a question on these delinquent privilege tax licenses. What are we gonna do about all these people that still haven't paid and they're 8 months delinquent?
Need to collect, I got a few I want to see. Yeah, we need, where's, John, had the ladies out front, let's send us a letter.
Because it says second notice on this grant.
They've been sent, I mean. They've been sent?
Well, do we need to shut their water down?
Maybe you want to, yeah.
I mean, we gotta do something. I mean,
If they haven't,
I pay my taxes.
if they haven't paid their privilege license operate.
That's something
Since Dolly Ray was on here, no, he can work for the
Let
city.
Wes will look at it and she can update us at the next board meeting.
He's on here, don't he do work for us?
He does something.
Well, we don't need to get him no more till he pays that license.
So it's the privilege taxes.
Mhm.
So I'll check into it and see. Yeah. All right, move on. All right. All right, Mark's got a motion to close the meeting.
Make a motion to consider the need for executive session to discuss personnel matters.
Second.